It's going to be a relatively short run through today. I'm not doing a full scan or anything like that, okay, Corky. What I'm here to do is to show you how I'm learning about the Bitcoin dominance chart, because it is an important chart that I've been watching it for about 18 months now, and seeing if there's any correlation to anything. I've just been watching it. I mean, as you can see, this is my list of contracts that I like to trade. I've also got my spot pairs, and I have Bitcoin dominance here at the top. So it's a chart that I always look at each and every day. And what I've been trying to work out and look at and understand, Winston, is, trading conditions correlated to Bitcoin's dominance chart. And before I go into the detail on the dominance chart and the things that I've noticed, I want to show you, I'll just do the top 10, sorry. Yeah, top 10 will do. I just want to show you a couple of things about the market right now. Also, don't forget, please do like, share, subscribe, turn on turn on your notifications, and there's a free ebook too on the website TRADERCOBB.com. Essentially, it's an ebook there that's very similar to what the free course is. So go and get a hold of the free course as well, and we'll all be good. So Bitcoin. As you can see, it is not far now from all-time highs. From where we are, we're at 4.88%. What a wonderful, wonderful move it has been. And we've been there. We've been on it. We've called it well. Up here, I took profits. I did a video on that. I didn't know what was going on down here. I did buy more Bitcoin right on the low. First time I've ever bought the bottom. Bottom obviously being here, but I bought some over here. And I bought more product over here. And Bitcoin's really, pulled back to the level with one hiccup, really. The hiccup was the bullish candle in the cradle zone. It didn't break the high, but it came down, retested this level here, which we spoke of a while back, and has since bounced a fairly staggering amount, really. I mean, that's over the last 3 weeks, 51%, not to be sneezed at. So, really good chart structure on this weekly. We've got the week before last, got what we wanted, which was pushing above this high. We got that with a very strong candle. And I wanted to see another good, strong, bullish week last week. And we got exactly that with another very strong candle. Now, if we get another one of these, we are all-time high, easy peasy. Now, will we pull back before then? Well, we're not too extended. Great chart cyclicity. When we look at the monthly, have a look again. This was one of the reasons why I was taking profits around here, because we were heavily overextended on that 7-month pull run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. And then we came back. So, yeah, there has been opportunity, and it's been very, very fruitful. In Bitcoin, of course, this month already up 41%. One of the biggest months, if it can hold that. Of course, we've still got plenty of time to go. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31. So we've got 13 days to go of October, and I'm hoping to see us push all-time highs. So Bitcoin has been dominant. Ethereum has been good. It's pulled back in beautifully to this level after breaking out through there. But if we look at the rest of the top 10, it's not really carrying through as well as what Bitcoin has. Of course, DOT being an exception. Doge has done bugger all. Well, not bugger all, but not a lot. Binance has done pretty well. Good chart structure there, good cyclicity. But we haven't pushed through those weekly highs. And actually, let's just do it on the weekly, actually. So Ethereum hasn't pushed on through its weekly highs on the run up through here, but this was when Ethereum was doing a lot more dominance. It was dominating Bitcoin. XRP still hasn't broken that high where Bitcoin has. DOT has done that. Doge is not even close. Binance hasn't done it. Cardano has been really, really slow after what was, we've got to admit, a very, very strong run up. Solana, obviously, it's just an amazing run. Has been consolidating. AVAX also had an amazing run, and it has pulled right back into the cradle. And Uniperp's done bugger all as well there. I might need to update my top 10 again shortly. So Bitcoin's dominance has been apparent. It's been very strong, and we are the closest of the top 10 to all-time highs with Bitcoin. So what does that mean across as a trader, with a trader's point of view and looking to trade markets that give opportunity? What's it meant for trading conditions? Well, for the last little while, especially these few weeks here, we haven't had a great deal of really strong trends through through the markets that I like to trade. I just haven't seen a great deal that's been there. And one of the reasons that I've been sort of leaning on a little bit is coming back now to this Bitcoin dominance chart. When we had this run here, okay, so this is Bitcoin's dominance in the market. Now, of course, Bitcoin is over $1.1 trillion as a market cap, with the entire market cap being about 2.4 trillion. So it's taking up, as you can see, 46.76% of the entire market. So what I've noticed, well, one of the observations that I have made is that when Bitcoin's dominance increases, like as in it has more dominance over the market, we tend to see our alt markets get a beating against Bitcoin. We also tend to see, when it comes to the futures and whatnot, pretty lackluster. And I'll just flick through a couple real quickly. Again, on the weekly, not much there. Look, it's not really giving us great trends or stronger trends as we have been seeing on Bitcoin. Sure, there's been some runs up on a bunch of those pairs. As a matter of fact, the A pairs have been the pairs of choice. But look, it's not been smooth sailing. We've got weeks where we're just holding in close and tight. Again, close and tight. Down, BAT, close and tight. Bitcoin Cash, fairly close and tight. There's not been as much activity and not been as many tradable opportunities taking place. So when it comes to Bitcoin's dominance, when we see the dominance coming off, and don't forget, Bitcoin is one tradable product, okay? One tradable product. But with the whole list, we've got hundreds of different products that we can be trading. So for me, as a trader, I want more opportunity. When the alts run, Bitcoin's dominance tends to decrease because people are switching from Bitcoin and they're investing into the alt markets to try and capture that explosive growth that you can get out of something that might have a $200 million market cap as opposed to 1.2 trillion. They're looking for that, taking it from 200 to maybe 400, 500, 600 million, so that you get a 2, 3, 4x. So the money does move around. Of course, there is a lot more. That money that moves around has a lot more places for it to move around, but that doesn't concern me because we're not trying to pick a needle in the haystack here. We're using structured strategies with written checklists that we practice and practice and practice, and we work on very specific criteria before we consider even taking a trade, let alone, before it meets our watch list, and of course, before it actually goes into the realms of being able to take that trade. So we've got quite a strict criteria across 3 strategies with those checklists. I'm not concerned about trying to pick where to put your money. I let the market decide that for me with that process that drives towards my outcomes. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen a fairly large growth in Bitcoin's dominance, 8.2% and 3.78%. Now you'll notice this is a weekly chart. When we look at the daily chart here, look, this is a big day, 3.5%. But generally speaking, they're not, to get above a percent or 2%, they're fairly rare, those types of days. Okay, so when I look at this weekly, and I let you know that we've got 2 big candles, 8.2 and 3.78. I mean, that one's not too big. What it's suggesting is that that's quite the move. It's quite the move. And it's not allowing our trends throughout our spot markets or our dollar tether market spot or our futures to really flourish and trend and give us lots of opportunity. So there has been a limit on the amount of trades that have been coming up, and also a limit on their progression. One-to-ones have been available. I've had plenty more. I find myself having lots more losing trades when we have Bitcoin's dominance increasing. When we have a trend like this, where Bitcoin's dominance is decreasing, the alts start to move, the conditions tend to be a lot better for trading. Now, why am I saying this, and how can this observation help? Well, it's not something that I'm totally 100% firm on, and I'm sure I'll get more detail on this the longer that I am a student of looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart and the relation to the alt market and Bitcoin itself and the trends. But what I'm saying is currently we have a daily uptrend on Bitcoin. Now, we saw that over here leading into the end of last year when the bull market when we really started to see the bull market take off. We got to all-time highs on Bitcoin. We had some really good conditions, and then when it started to come off, it was through here that we saw a lot of our alt markets move very, very well. And of course, then through here as Bitcoin fell away, so too did the dominance chart. And a chart's a chart for me. I'm not in, I don't mind what the chart is. Now, I don't even know if I can trade Bitcoin's dominance. I don't really care. I mean, that would just be buying or trading Bitcoin. But I'm certainly seeing a correlation between choppy markets and Bitcoin dominance chart strength. People assumingly leaving their alts and moving into Bitcoin, or new money coming into the market starting with Bitcoin. And that's why Bitcoin's price is increasing and its dominance as well. A lot of the charts that we're seeing at the moment, excuse me, through this list, I'll just start a bit lower, have not necessarily taken a dive, but they also haven't necessarily done a great deal. And that's what leads me to think that rather than seeing a lot of money leaving alts and moving across to Bitcoin, what we're seeing is probably fresh money coming into the market. Because look, Dash, it's sideways. There's no real clear trend there. Dawn, nothing there. DeFi, nothing there. You know, we're seeing this quite commonly across the board, lacking real movement, but not falling hard either. You know, there are obviously exceptions out there, but we're not seeing, you know, our alt market really be, you know, tanking. We're seeing it grind and be messy and sideways, which is suggesting to me that we may not be seeing as much leaving our alt market and moving into Bitcoin, but it is new money coming in. Now, when that switches, if that switches, because we never know if it really will, I suspect it will, because so far the history of the market has been that Bitcoin's dominance really ramps up, then the alts follow thereafter. Perhaps as people get used to, you know, get into Bitcoin and get used to it, then they start looking, they start looking for other options, get into the space more, start to see people make money, start following people on Twitter, all sorts of different ways that they're getting in, and then they start to put it into those alt markets. So if you are getting chopped out a little bit at the moment, and things are a little bit messy at the moment, I mean, the charts are messy, simple as that, then perhaps it's worthwhile understanding where we are in this cycle. We are in Bitcoin's dominant cycle at the moment. And until that reverses or changes, we're probably going to see that continue to be choppy within our other markets, and therefore a good time to either minimize your risk or step back and take some time. Because that's what I'm looking at the moment. You know, I've had 2 losing trades in a row. Now, that might not sound like a lot, and it's not. It's not a lot. It's still within my cutoff points and all that. It's all fine. But it's not something that I have happen all that frequently. Keep in mind, I am not trading 5, 6, 10 times a day. All right, I'm very selective with the trades that I'm taking. So if you are, like I am now in the position where I'm going, okay, well, until I see some really strong trends out there, and this morning I did my scan, and I'll show you, that was what was on my watch list. Bitcoin is the only thing that is always on that watch list. There was literally nothing out of all of these charts. So I did this whole scan, spot list against Bitcoin. I did a spot list scan against Tether, and on my full FTX perp scan, and I did not find a single market that was of interest. Now, I just went through recently this whole list again, and I still have nothing in my list. Whilst Bitcoin's dominance continues to rise and the Bitcoin dominance chart continues to be heading north, it's likely, based on the observations that I've been making, that we will see Bitcoin's price increase and we will see choppiness within the alt market. So be safe, minimize risk if you want to go for a holiday, because maybe you can now. If you want to leave your house, well, maybe you can now. So go and do something else while the weather is nice and spring is upon us, because until that Bitcoin dominance chart changes its direction, I see that we may get some good trends on certain projects, but they are going to be few and far between. That's the little update I wanted to give you on my observation about Bitcoin's dominance. I hope you have a fantastic day and that you are in good spirits. Take care, guys. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and go and have a look at TRADERCOBB.com. Get yourself on that free course. Bye for now.